Greetings. Some days ago, I uploaded a video about how urgent it is that we stop the lockdown. This is not about stopping other emergency measures such as social distancing, washing hands, masks, and so forth, but only about restoring the businesses, large and small, that have ceased operating, and reopening the country, and really the world, to ordinary commerce and other ordinary human living. Here is another way of looking at it. Suppose you quit your job. No vacation pay saved up, no 2 weeks notice pay, no severance pay, no pension, no savings. Your work and your income from it just stops cold, and there isn't some other job that you could just go out and get. What do you do to survive? You go into debt. You have to. So you borrow, say, $2,000 to get you through the month. If, at the end of that month, you can go back to work and the income resumes as before, it is a serious inconvenience, but not a total disaster. Suppose you are an ordinary working stiff. You can probably pay that off in maybe 6 to 10 months if you tighten your belt and live as frugally as possible, and within a year or so you could be back to normal. Probably worth it to save the world from a great plague. But suppose it goes on for another month. Now you are $4,000 in debt, as well as some interest on top of that. Thankfully not very much yet. But this is going to take you a couple years to pay off. Again, still doable, but a lot can happen in a couple of years. A third month takes your debt up to $6,000. Enough to buy a somewhat decent used car. Think about how long it takes to pay for it when you buy a car, 3 to 6 years or so. But in this case, you don't even have the car to show for it. Another couple months, and you're now $10,000 and change in debt. A year, and you could be $25,000 in debt. 12 months plus interest. Now, maybe an upper middle class or above person might be able to take even that in stride. Sorry kids, no European vacation this year, or no brand new car this year. I know even that could be a bit of a punch in the stomach to those folks. But for those closer to the minimum wage range, if you're in your 20s, you would be lucky if you could have this paid off by age 60. And if you're already 60 at such an income level, you're not going to live long enough to pay it off. Your life is ruined. All of that money you didn't know you had, and which could have gone to an education, better job, marriage, family, forget it. Now, you might say, the government is paying, so I still have enough money to survive. They are borrowing it. Again, you could say, but this is not really borrowed from anybody who might want it back, but merely government-created funny money. Well, that's true. But you know what happens when money is increased without increasing overall the economy? In fact, we have not grown it, but shrunk it considerably. Runaway inflation. Think of the Weimar Republic between the 2 world wars, or Zimbabwe, or now Venezuela. I remember when I could buy a stick of gum for a penny. My dad can remember when he could buy a whole candy bar. What's it worth now? Imagine $1 going only as far as a dime today, and in only a very few years. One way or another, we are all going to have to pay for this, or stop it right now and get back to work. Thank you.